Hey, hi. Are you catching a falling knife? Is it possible to catch a falling knife? Just imagine someone in your home, they are throwing a knife by mistake while playing, and you're just catching it. Is it possible to catch? Will you catch it, hold of it? So this is what you're going to see. But there are people who catches the falling stocks. So this is what is called as catching a falling knife in terms of stock market. So if you're someone who is fumbling with identifying stocks, or if you're someone who catches a falling knife, who doesn't know what to do while something sharp item is coming at you, so then this video is for you. Because you may be interested in stock market, and you have a misconception that every stock you that is a risk, right? Because you whenever I come to speak about stock market, people ask, what is the risk in it? What if my stock falls down suddenly? What will happen to my investment amount? So if you're someone in this having doubts like this, then this video is for you too. Hi, hello, this is Ganesan, your author of the book Money Leaks and Millionaire Coach, and today you're just going to see a very interesting topic because this is a scenario. Because for the last 6 months, it's like very market is very volatile, and there are many stocks which is available at very 52-week low, and it's going down and down. So it's like it's falling like anything, and at this moment there may be recommendations like this. You will be getting an idea like, let me take a stock at which is available at 52-week low, and let me make money. It's quite easy, right? The 52-week high value will be like uh, 300, and 52-week low value will be at 100 rupees, and you think the stock has fallen from 300 to 100. And it's easy to identify such stocks in these scenarios, and once you identify those scenarios, those stocks, then you may think that you are going to make money. But the mistake is that there lies the biggest mistake. Let me share my experience. uh, Long back, I mean almost 6 years back, when I started investing, I was identifying which stock to follow, which one to buy, and it was like a it's very interesting. Even now I can see feel like what I was doing at that time. I was following a stock called Core Education. I'll show the graph in a short while, like why I had bought that stock. So it was there for the last more than 7 8 years, and it is in the education domain, right? Core education, because they provide some so education related things. They work with schools and colleges. They provide some education materials kind of things. So I was just looking back at the company, and then I did some basic analysis like PE, all those stuff. And for the last 2 years it has been consistently rising. It's moving like s- steady growth. So I thought the company is growth good, and I should buy that stock. So I was looking at so many stocks. I had a huge list of 200 plus stocks, and this is one stock which was good. And all of a sudden, in one day, it started falling down like anything. From 300, it fell down to around 250, 200. And as the day progressed, it was falling like anything. Almost 50% of the stock value has gone down from 300. It came down to 200 to 170, somewhere in that range. I thought this is the best time to buy the stock, because I never analyzed the news at the time. I never knew I never knew that may be news because of which the stocks will go down. Because that was my first year, and I never knew. I didn't follow anybody. I didn't ask anyone. I didn't even check the Money Control website or Economic Times website to understand, or even check the news related to the particular stock. So that was the biggest mistake I did, and it kept falling down. So after a while, it was like. I was just thinking, I bought, and after 2 days, when I saw it came down to 50 rupees. From 300, it came to 50 in just 3 days. And now, I think it's not even listed. Let me share when it was listed. And in the last 6 years, from the time I bought and till now, it never went. It didn't even move out of the single digit. Let me share that stock value. So this is a stock you can see. So I just bought at 2013, the steep fall. I never know why the stock has fell down at that time. And if you see now, I think it's close to 0 rupees. So this is the latest graph which I took it from Money Control, thanks to Money Control. And the steep fall. I never knew why the stock fell, and why the news it hit like anything. And then when I analyzed that there were huge debts, and there were corporate governance issue in the company, and the recovery is very impossible. That I came to know after a year's time. I mean, I was just hoping something will happen, but then I realized when I started analyzing other things, I realized it won't come, and I sold whatever I had, because so it was a small amount. So it was a huge lesson with a small amount, because these things you will never learn anywhere else anywhere else. Not even anybody in stock market will not be able to teach you, because it's their personal experience. They may not share that I lost money. That is one thing. And not even in schools and colleges and all other management courses, anywhere you will never learn all these things. But I learned by investing a small amount, and that is a lesson for life. That then This is one thing. So similarly, one more person, my friend, my close friend, maybe he may also watch this. He had watched a company called Gaman Infra. So it's an infrastructure company. It's also there in the market for the last more than 10 years. And you know that in the last 10-20 years, the infrastructure growth is projected, like that is one sector or industry which will uh, take India to the next level, because still the scope is there. When I just went to one of the city in China, it's a very small town, but the infrastructure is amazing. So the kind of growth they are, they even call that China as a ghost cities, most ghost cities, because people will not be there, but the infrastructure will be perfect. Like you can never imagine the kind of buildings, the kind of roads mainly. When it compared to India, it's very less. That is the reason infrastructure is always projected as a biggest growth sector. But that is the sector where there are so many regulations issues, and land regulation. So many issues are there, and all the companies related to infrastructure are debt. I mean, ridden, and only few companies had shown growth in the last 2-3 decades. So one such company was Gaman Infra, and it was available at two-digit numbers. And my friend had bought just because you know that right from 2003, when BJP was in power in late last 2000 2004 period, they had projected the quadrilateral road project connecting the all parts of India. So that is one big project infrastructure push which happened in India. And after that, nothing was not much biggest push was there. So that is one thing, and people started looking at infrastructure as one big sector, and people want to invest in infrastructure. I had lost money in infrastructure, not in stocks, but in mutual funds. I had lost a very small amount. That's a big lesson again. So all the infrastructure stocks, it's good to invest, but only when you analyze the company and only when you have conviction. But still, it's a very long period. There are many other stocks which will give much better returns, except one company called L&T, where it has given consistent records. I had seen that stock giving dividends and all those bonus shares and everything. So that is one stock you can have a look if you want to invest in infrastructure. So coming back, my friend has invested in Gaman Infra. It was available at around 20 or 30 rupees, I think. So he has invested I think 2 to 3 lakhs of amount. I think 2 to 3 lakhs of money initially, and after a while, it started going down. He thought it's a infrastructure company. I should keep investing. And after 1 year or so, he again invested another 2 lakhs. So that's how he started investing. I mean, I think he invested around 6 lakhs of amount, and now it's less than single digit. So when I said that whatever is left over, you should take it up and come out so that you can invest in a very good company. He's just sticking with the company just because of the reason that it will come back one day. It's an infrastructure growth company. But the thing is, it's debt is huge, and the probability of stock coming out of the debt is much lesser. There was a company called GMR. It's still there, and most of the airports are being governed by GMR, and they've done a fantastic job in 2007-8 period. During the bullish period of 2003 to 2007, the infrastructure, this company has grown like anything. But after that, till now, it's in double digit. I mean, it will hover around 10 to 20, 25 rupees, and nothing more than that. Instead of being sticking with those kind of companies, you can identify a company which is which is without debt, and much bigger prospect, right? Let me show you the screenshot of Gaman Infra. So this is a price. If you see, the stock had touched to 20 rupees in 2015, and after that it has never touched. It is now, it's available around 2 rupees or 3 rupees. So whatever he has invested, he has lost a much bigger amount, and currently he is having something left over in the stock because he has invested a very big amount. So whatever is left, if he is able to take it up and sell it off now, because the companies once if it is delisted, it's difficult to sell. Whatever is lost, it's completely lost. So you should sell whenever the company is there, or else you will lose everything. So this is one thing. This is one more lesson. So what to do with then what should I do with if I lose money? What should I do with falling stocks? How will I know if this stock is going to come down? That is the most difficult thing, right? I'm just going to share that important tips, like what should I do. It's like if you're catching a falling stock, it's like hold the blood will come for sure. You will lose your money. Your money is hard earned, right? It's a money is your money is hard and you work hard. That is when you come to invest to make returns. But the thing is, these are the mistakes which people make, and the common perception here thereafter is that once money is invested in stock market, it's lost. Don't go to stock market. But thing is, you have steps. The number one thing what you need to do if you're a first time investor, or even if you're a seasoned investor for a few years, avoid small cap. Know the risk. Better thing is avoid small cap. If you don't want to have risk, it's not about risk taking, it's identifying and analyzing the company. If you're not clear about analyzing a company, don't invest in a small cap. Avoid it. There are blue chip companies which is there in the industry for the last 2 3 decades. Identify those companies and stick with them. And don't keep adding. If your stock is falling, try to identify the reason why my stock is falling. Else it is better to stop investing. And then comes the next step: ask for help. If you're not sure why your stock is falling, ask for help, like why my stock is falling. Either you can google it up and find out by yourself, and ask your friends who are actively investing in stock market for a while, so that you know whether to buy the stock. Don't hesitate, like what will they think if I had identified a wrong stock and I had lost money like anything. It- no issue. It's better late than never. You will know whether your stock is going to perform or not at that moment, if it is falling. And the first time, start small. It's better to start small. Let it be 1,000 rupees or even 10,000 rupees, or don't invest a huge amount so that you will never come back to stock market. It should be like a testing water. If you're testing water, just think about, like if you're going on taking bath in a river, you'll just test water, like how much chill is the water, and then you'll slowly get into it, so that you never get so much frightened of the chillness of the water, right? So that is how you should be. And have a stop loss. If how much stop loss you can digest, say you are investing 30,000 rupees, how much stop loss you can digest, say 20%, 25%. You should have clearly, like out of 30,000, even if it is falling by 25%, I'll be okay with it. After you are done all the fundamental analysis, if the stock is falling, this is when you should have stop loss. You will minimize the stop loss by minimize the stop loss till 5,000. If you're losing, it is okay, right? Because you are learning a lesson, you're going to learn a lesson. If you're not having a stop loss, you will lose even a 50% or even 70 80%. You will lose 20 25,000. Think about in lakhs. If you're investing a lakh, you are losing a 70%. It's a huge money, right? Identify how much money you are investing, and out of that how much you are having a stop loss in a particular stock. And then finally, get out of the stock. If the stock is falling like anything, get out of it immediately. After understanding if it is a management issue, or if it is a what is the right exact issue. Sometimes on a quarterly basis, 2 quarters the stock will be going down. That is the reason it has been punished by the traders, because they will say the stock is not going to perform for the next 3 quarters. They will be selling off like anything. These are the traders who are there for a weekly, monthly, and the quarterly basis. They try to make money out of it. If you're someone, I strongly advise you need to create wealth out of stock market. If you want to create wealth out of stock market, you should stay invested in stock market for a longer time. If you're that kind of an investor, if the stock is falling, best example is Maruti. It touched around 9,500 something points, and just because automobile industry is falling, as the sales was dropping, it just came down to 6,500. As it touched 6,500, slowly started moving beyond 7,000 now, just because of the last 2 weeks. In the last 2 weeks, it touched beyond 7,200, close to 7,200. If there is a because, it seems there is a recovery in the sales because of Diwali mood, and that is the reason the Maruti stock has recovered, because it's an automobile industry. When you compare it with the other Listed stocks in automobile sector, this is leading the chart because Maruti demands 50, more than 50%, right? So this is the reason you should stick with the top company, not with a small cap, not with a smaller company which no one knows. So the best thing is get out of the stock if you're not clear, if you're identifying the top bottom of the stock, and if it's falling, better to get out of it as soon as possible. So these are the ways you can be safe when it comes to investing in a small, even when it comes to catching a falling knife during the time of slowdown. If the market is falling left in it, anything, just keep following, keep remembering these points. Let me list down again. Avoid small cap. Don't keep adding a stock when it's falling beyond a point. Ask for help. Don't worry. Ask for help. It is better late than never. And start small. Don't invest everything in a single stock, or don't invest a huge amount and then regret about it. And then have a stop loss. How much you can? It's okay to have a stop loss. How much you can digest, because these are the lessons. No one is going